Welcome back, everyone, to the smartest year ever, our quest to become the world's greatest conversationalists. My name is Gordy, and it is History Week, so I was just wondering, do you know what's going on in this painting? I'll give you a hint. That guy in the chair, he's dead. Give me 5 minutes, I bet you can work this into a conversation today, and like and subscribe so you can keep up. I do this every single day. In 897, Rome held one of the strangest trials in history. The defendant was dead. His name was Pope Formosus, and months after his burial, he was dragged out of his tomb, dressed back up in his papal robes, and put on trial. The event became known as the Cadaver Synod, and it remains one of the most grotesque spectacles in church history. Formosus had been pope from 891 until his death in 896. In life, he had made powerful enemies, particularly the ruling Spoletan family, who had their own ambitions for papal influence. When Stephen VI succeeded him as pope, he chose to settle old scores, not just with the living, but with the dead as well. Formosus's body was exhumed and placed on a throne in the Lateran Basilica. A deacon was appointed to act as his defense attorney, though the deacon's role was mostly symbolic. The corpse sat in silence as perjury charges were read. Well, I'm glad he was silent. That makes sense. He said Formosus had violated canon law by serving as a bishop of multiple sees. That's the idea of like transmigration. They also said that he had lied to achieve the papacy and that his actions as pope were illegitimate. The outcome was a foregone conclusion. Formosus was found guilty. His papacy was declared null and void, his acts and ordinations annulled. To underline the verdict, his 3 fingers of benediction, the ones he would have used to bless, were cut off. The corpse was stripped of his papal garments and in a final insult was thrown into the river Tiber. The motives were political more than theological. The papacy in the late 9th century was entangled in the violent power struggles of noble families, mercenary armies, and the Holy Roman Empire. By condemning Formosus, Stephen VI was bolstering the Spoletan cause and trying to delegitimize rival factions. But the macabre spectacle horrified the Roman public. They didn't like that. The image of a pope's rotting corpse propped up in court was too much even for an era accustomed to brutality. Riots broke out in Rome. Pope Stephen was deposed, thrown into prison, and within months, he was strangled to death in his cell. A violent end for the man who had staged a violent farce. Formosus' body, meanwhile, didn't rest easily. After being tossed into the Tiber, it was recovered by fishermen, apparently near St. Peter's Basilica, and stories began circulating that the corpse was performing miracles. Like, in your face, Pope Stephen. His body's performing miracles. And he was reburied with honor. And later popes annulled the Cadaver Synod's verdict entirely, restoring his reputation. In the end, the trial of a corpse destroyed the living pope who staged it. The Cadaver Synod became an embarrassment for the church and stands today as one of the most bizarre episodes of medieval history. A courtroom drama where the accused could not testify, object, or even breathe. A dead man sat trial for his sins, and the living who judged him ended up condemning themselves. So there you have it. In 897, Rome staged the ultimate show trial, complete with a corpse and papal robes, and it was politics as a spectacle, religion as revenge, and one of the few times in history where justice really was grave. Go check out my sources, which can be found in the YouTube description. Leave me a comment, rate, like, subscribe. Who would you try from history? Is there any dead person you would put to trial? Let me know. Go check out my short version that I do of all of these. I do a 45-second version on social media. You can find me at Smartest Year Ever everywhere. And in the meantime, stay curious and stay clever on our quest to become the world's greatest conversationalist. I will see you tomorrow in the Smartest Year Ever for more History Week.